Hey everyone! Today we're diving into a wild ride through Donald Trump's first successful presidential campaign. Let's jump right in.
Hillary is so corrupt.
Okay. Excuse me.
Marco Rubio attacked one of Trump's personal attributes in a recent speech. Now Donald intends to set the record straight.
Well, I also happen to call him a lightweight, okay? And I have said that, so I would like to take that back. He's really not that much of a lightweight. And as far as, and I have to say this, he hit my hands. Nobody has ever hit my hands. I've never heard of this one. Look at those hands. Are they small hands? And he referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small. I guarantee you there's no problem. I guarantee it.
All right. Okay. Moving on.
While the language was coarse, it highlighted the bare-knuckle nature of Trump's campaign rhetoric and willingness to go on the attack against opponents.
And people are worried about my tone. You heard the other night at debate, they asked Ted Cruz, serious question, well, what do you think of waterboarding? Is it okay? And honestly, I thought he'd say absolutely, and he didn't. He said, well, he's concerned about the answer because some people, she just said a terrible thing. You know what she said? Shout it out, because I don't want to. Okay, you're not allowed to say, and I never expect to hear that from you again. She said, I never expect to hear that from you again. She said he's a pussy. That's terrible. Terrible.
Technical issues can frustrate any speaker.
We're going to lose that. $505 billion. And by the way, I don't like this mic. Whoever the hell bought this mic system, don't be the son of a bitch to put it in, I'll tell you. These people. No, this mic is terrible. Stupid mic keeps popping. Do you hear that, George? Don't pay him. Don't pay him. You know, I believe in paying. But when somebody does a bad job, like this stupid mic, you shouldn't pay the bastard. Terrible. Terrible. It's true. And you got to be tough with your people because they'll pay. They don't care. They'll pay. So we're not going to pay. I guarantee you I'm not paying for this mic. Every 2 minutes I hear like boom, boom. Anyway, I hope it's okay for you out there, but it really is. Boy, you are real. Look at that. Look up there. It's packed up to the rafters. Man. Holy mackerel. Well, I want to thank Your Eminence. This is really great to be with you again. We love it. Governor Cuomo. Our great senators. Hi, Chuck. He used to love me when I was a Democrat, you know.
This clip captures the confrontational dynamic between Trump and the CNN anchor during a contentious interview.
And that they had her on tape, all of a sudden that story changed.
No, that's not true. She says her story has remained exactly the same. She was knocked a little bit off.
Can I read this to you then?
Yeah, that she was knocked off balance, but she remained standing.
Do you mind if I read you her statement?
Yes, please.
I mean, give me a break. You know, the problem is everybody dumps people when there's a sign of political incorrectness. I'm just going to read, if I can find it.
She said she was almost knocked off balance, but
she said she was
standing.
almost knocked off balance. Right, here's what she said. You want to read it or you want me to do it? You're a professional announcer. Why don't you read it? The bottom part. The bottom. Now, that's an exact quote from her prior to seeing the cameras, and now she says, oh, I better change my story, I guess.
This quote says, I was jolted backwards. Someone had grabbed me tightly by the arm and yanked me down. I almost fell to the ground, but was able to maintain my balance nonetheless. I was shaken. Campaign managers aren't supposed to try to forcefully throw reporters to the ground. She did not go down the ground.
No, let me just say, okay, before she knows, folks, look, I'm a loyal person. I'm going to be loyal to the country. I'm going to be loyal to Wisconsin. We have to tell it like it is. It would be so easy for me to terminate this man, ruin his life, ruin his family. He's got 4 beautiful children in New Hampshire, ruin his whole everything, and say you're fired, okay? I fired many people, especially in The Apprentice. But look what she says, Michelle Fields, who, by the way, she's not a baby, okay? In her own words, exactly, I was jolted backwards. Well, she wasn't. I mean, she's standing there. Someone had grabbed me tightly by the arm, and yanked me down. She wasn't yanked down. She was like, she didn't even have any expression. If somebody in this audience gets whacked or gets hurt, including me, you get hit a little bit, you go, wow. There's no emotion. Okay, wait a minute. I almost fell to the ground, I almost fell to the ground. She didn't almost fall to the ground. He got in her way. And by the way, she was grabbing me. Am I supposed to press charges against her? Oh, my arm is hurting.
You've suggested you might.
Anderson, my arm is just killing me. It's never been the same.
You've suggested you might.
Excuse me. I didn't suggest.
Well, yeah, you did.
I tweeted. No, I tweeted. I asked
a tweet
the
is a suggestion.
Should I press charges?
Are you going to?
Sure. I don't know. Maybe I should, right? Because you know what? She was grabbing me.
Trump poked fun at Marco Rubio's awkward water break moment, showcasing his willingness to mock opponents.
When they put Marco on to refute President Obama's speech, do you remember that catastrophe? And he's like this, and we were, I need water, help me, I need water, help. And this is on live television. This total joke artist. It's Rubio. That's what it. Unbelievable.
The exchange between Trump and Jeb Bush generated boos, underscoring the fiery rhetoric between the two during the 2016 Republican primary.
Let me just, he wants to be a tough guy. A lot of times, you'll have, and it doesn't work very well with
How tough is it to take property from an elderly woman?
Let me talk. Quiet.
How tough is it?
A lot of times, that's all of his donors and special interests out there. So, that's what it is. And by the way, let me just tell you, we needed tickets. You can't get them. You know who has the tickets I'm talking about to the television audience? Donors, special interests, the people that are putting up the money. So it is. The RNC told us we have all donors in the audience, and the reason they're not loving me, the reason they're not loving me is I don't want their money. I'm going to do the right thing for the American public. I don't want their money. I don't need their money. And I'm the only one up here that can say that. You wouldn't have the Keystone Pipeline that you want so badly without eminent domain.
Exactly.
You wouldn't have massive, excuse me, Josh, you wouldn't have massive factories without eminent domain. Look how great my hair looks. And I don't use anything. And it looks very good. What's the difference between a wet raccoon and Donald J. Trump's hair? A wet raccoon doesn't have $7 billion fucking dollars in the bank. You know, they say when you do this kind of an event, you always start out with a self-deprecating joke. Some people think this would be tough for me, but the truth is, true. The truth is I'm actually a modest person, very modest. It's true. In fact, many people tell me that modesty is perhaps my best quality. Even better than my temperament. But last night they said that was the most vicious debate in the history of politics, presidential debate, the most vicious. And I don't know, are we supposed to be proud of that, or are we supposed to be unhappy? But they did say that, and I'm trying to think back to Lincoln. I don't think they can really compete with that. But the candidates have some lighthearted moments together, which is true. I have no doubt that Hillary is going to laugh quite a bit tonight, sometimes even at an appropriate moment. And even tonight, with all of the heated back and forth between my opponent and me at the debate last night, we have proven that we can actually be civil to each other. In fact, just before taking the dais, Hillary accidentally bumped into me, and she very civilly said, "Pardon me." And I very politely replied, let me talk to you about that after I get into office.
Trump weighs in on the Anthony Weiner sexting scandal, harshly criticizing the former congressman's behavior.
I'm not going to say Jeb is low energy, but he's pretty low. Who would you rather have negotiate with Iran, Trump or Jeb? How about this? Trump or Hillary? So Uma now is one of the people that it all sort of came through Uma. Who is Uma married to? One of the great sleazebags of our time. Anthony Weiner. Did you know that? She's married to Anthony Weiner. You know, the little bing, 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 bum, bum. I love you very much. So, now think of it. So Uma is getting classified secrets. She's married to Anthony Weiner, who's a perv. No, he is. He is. Turned out that he was a really bad guy. So she's married to Anthony Weiner. Do you think there's even a 5% chance that she's not telling Anthony Weiner, now of a public relations firm, what the hell is coming across? Do you think there's even a little bit of a chance? I don't think so. Are there any women in this room who are in love with their husbands who wouldn't be telling them everything? You would or wouldn't? No, she said, I wouldn't, but I'm in love. No, you will.
Trump mocks Hillary Clinton's use of a teleprompter during speeches and rallies.
Thank you very much for being here. Or Hillary with the teleprompters every single time. And whether you go north and south or east and west, Donald Trump is a bad person. Donald Trump made a lot of money in Atlantic City, but he hurt the little people. She calls it the little people. He hurt the little people. He didn't.
The Republican candidate makes a controversial claim about jailing Hillary Clinton if he became president.
And honestly, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Secretary Clinton, I want to follow up on that. I'm going to let you talk about emails.
Because everything he just said is absolutely false, but I'm not surprised. Really? In the first debate,
and the audience needs to calm down here.
I told people that it would be impossible. It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Yeah, because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
Trump's impression of Clinton's stumble is a classic example of his theatrical campaign style. Love him or hate him, he sure knows how to keep the crowd entertained.
But here's a woman. She's supposed to fight all of these different things. And she can't make it 15 feet to her car. Give me a break. Give me a break. Give me a break. She said if somehow she gets elected, she wants me to be, without question, either her ambassador to Iraq or to Afghanistan. It's my choice. But one of the things I noticed tonight, and I've known Hillary for a long time, is this is the first time ever, that Hillary is sitting down and speaking to major corporate leaders and not getting paid for it. It's true. It's true. True. You know, last night, I called Hillary a nasty woman. But this stuff is all relative. After listening to Hillary rattle on and on and on, I don't think so badly of Rosie O'Donnell anymore. In fact, I'm actually starting to like Rosie a lot.
I was born 63 years ago and looked up and I saw my mom. My mom is the strongest woman I know.
She should be running.
In a surprising twist, Trump steps in to maintain some decorum at his rally. Even he has his limits when it comes to name-calling.
About waterboarding. They asked Ted Cruz, he was on my left, right? I've been in the middle. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. But it could have been foul, so I'm doing this for the press. Anybody that says something like that, I will reprimand them. Who said it? I didn't say anything. You are reprimanded. Okay.
Trump doesn't hold back, calling out Rand Paul in a way only he can.
First of all, Rand Paul shouldn't even be on this stage. He's number 11. He's got 1% in the polls, and how he got up here, there's far too many people. Anyway, as far as temperament, and we all know that, as far as temperament, I think I have a great temperament.
I'm very concerned about having him in charge of the nuclear weapons because I think his response, his visceral response to attack people on their appearance, short, tall, fat, ugly. My goodness, that happened in junior high. Are we not way above that? Would we not all be worried to have someone like that in charge of the nuclear arsenal?
Mr. Trump.
I never attacked him on his look, and believe me, there's plenty of subject matter right there. That I can tell you.
Jake, I want to give Mr. Trump.
An interesting clip showcasing Donald's confrontational style when dealing with protesters at his rallies.
We have a out, be nice, out. Get him out of here. Get him out. You know, you really say, where do these people come from? Bye-bye. So we've had 3 singles so far. I tell you what, where do these people come? You know, I'll tell you what. Oh, we have another one over here, another single. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Looks like a nice little guy, actually. Go home to mommy. Go home. Bye. Go home to mommy. Go home to mommy. Tell her to tuck you in bed. He's such a nice guy. Nasty little, I'll tell you, nasty people. Are Trump rallies fun? Are these fun? Right? Are you okay? You okay? Are you all right? Go.
Donald mocks Hillary for having to be coached on when to smile.
Even has to give her secret notes on when she needs to smile. Smile, Hillary, smile. Hey, folks, we have to get back to work. Our country's in trouble. We can't play games anymore. Smile. You believe it? Smile.
The presidential candidate explains his controversial use of Twitter.
We have an unbelievable bond. We have an unbelievable
retweet some of those. It's not just the fans.
Yeah, but not the more nasty ones. You would be amazed at the ones I don't retweet.
Bimbo?
Well, there was a retweet. Yeah, did I say that?
Many times.
Ooh, okay. Excuse me. And I got the chance to meet the people who are working so hard to get her elected. There they are, the heads of NBC, CNN, CBS, ABC. There's the New York Times right over there, and the Washington Post. They're working overtime. True. Oh, this one's going to get me in trouble. Not with Hillary. People like me from previous months, okay? Total control. Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing. You know what that is, right?
Jeb Bush gets a rare compliment from Donald Trump. But is it genuine or just another setup for a punchline?
Because you gave her money. Maybe it works for Hillary Clinton. It doesn't work for anybody on this stage.
I was a businessman. I got along with Clinton. I got along with everybody. Yeah. That was my job, to get along with people.
But the simple fact is...
Excuse me. 1 second.
No.
I didn't want to...
Donald, you cannot take...
More energy tonight. I like that. Look.
I was asked the question.
I didn't want... It was my obligation as a businessman, to my family, to my company, to my employees, to get along with all politicians. I got along with all of them, and I did a damn good job in doing it. Go ahead.
Ever ready. It's very high energy, Donald. Mr. Trump?
Humble.
That's a good one. Back to
A revealing moment where the future president attempts to connect with religious voters by brandishing his personal Bible.
Most importantly, I brought my Bible. Okay? And, you know, it's First Presbyterian Church, Jamaica, and this was written by my mother with my name, it's a long time ago, with my name, with my address, with everything. In case I lost it, somebody would return it. You know, in the old days, if you lost something, they returned it. Today, a little bit less so. You have this clown, Marco Rubio. I've been so nice to him. I've been so nice. I've been so nice. And then, no.
Donald claims Jeb had some rather unconventional plans for the debate stage.
2 days ago, he said he would take his pants off and moon everybody, and that's fine. Nobody reports that. He gets up and says that. And then he tells me, oh, my language was a little bit rough. Okay. My language.
Governor Kasich.
Give me a break.
Governor Kasich.
Brace for impact as Donald is going to roast Hillary.
I'd like to address an important religious matter, the issue of going to confession, or as Hillary calls it, the 4th of July weekend with FBI Director Comey. Now, I'm told Hillary went to confession before tonight's event. But the priest was having a hard time when he asked her about her sins, and she said she couldn't remember 39 times. Nah. Hillary is so corrupt. She got kicked off the Watergate Commission. How corrupt you have to be to get kicked off the Watergate Commission. Pretty corrupt. Hillary is and has been in politics since the 70s. What's her pitch? The economy is busted. The government's corrupt. Washington is failing. Vote for me. I've been working on these problems for 30 years. I can fix it, she says. I wasn't really sure if Hillary was going to be here tonight because I guess you didn't send her invitation by email. Or maybe you did and she just found out about it through the wonder of WikiLeaks. We've learned so much from WikiLeaks. For example, Hillary believes that it's vital to deceive the people by having one public policy and a totally different policy in private. That's okay. I don't know who they're angry at, Hillary, you're right. For example, here she is tonight in public pretending not to hate Catholics. Now, if some of you haven't noticed, Hillary isn't laughing as much as the rest of us. That's because she knows the jokes. And all of the jokes were given to her in advance of the dinner by Donna Brazil, which is, everyone knows, of course, Hillary's belief that it takes a village, which only makes sense, after all, in places like Haiti, where she's taken a number of them.
This clip captures the competitive dynamic and Trump's penchant for bold, provocative statements.
I'm beating him awfully badly in the polls.
But you're not beating Hillary.
So you're not beating Hillary. Well, then if I can't beat her, you're really going to get killed, aren't you? So let me ask you this, because you're really getting beaten badly. I know you're embarrassed. I know you're embarrassed. But keep fighting. Keep swinging, man. Swing for the fences. Let me just tell you.
An unexpected interruption at a rally, showcasing his unorthodox approach to handling situations.
I have the biggest bank in the world as a tenant of mine in New York. The biggest in the world, a Chinese bank. Don't worry about that baby. I love babies. So I love babies. I hear that baby crying. I like it. What a baby. What a beautiful baby. Don't worry. The mom's running around like, don't worry about it, you know. It's young and beautiful and healthy, and that's what we want. Okay. But look. We have the piggy bank. They have ripped us to shreds. Ripped us absolutely to shreds. Actually, I was only kidding. You can get the baby out of here. That's all right. Don't worry. I think she really believed me that I love having a baby crying while I'm speaking. That's okay. People don't understand. That's okay.
A lighthearted moment as Trump engages with a young supporter, reminding us of the personal connections candidates strive to make.
Where's your daddy? And your mommy, right? Do you want to go back? Do you want to go back to them, or do you want to stay with Donald Trump?
Trump.
Donald's response to a question from conservative commentator Hugh Hewitt showcases his confrontational style.
You go ahead. Mr. Trump.
Are you going to ask anybody else a question?
No, this goes to me.
Every single question comes to me?
Mr. Trump.
I know I'm good for the ratings, but it's a little bit ridiculous.
No, but Mr. Trump, a year ago, you told me on my radio show, the audio and the transcript are out there on YouTube, that you would release your tax returns. True. Are you going back on your
No, I'm not.
commitment?
First of all, very few people listen to your radio show. That's the good news. Let me just tell you. Which happens to be true. Check out the ratings.
You're a billionaire, though. Why would you not move it here just for having it in America?
Excuse me, because I'm a businessman. Let me just tell you something, and it's very interesting. You're not bringing up anything new. You know, you're acting like you're the great reporter, blah, blah, blah.
The Pew Research, which is independent, says...
Don't be naive. You're a very naive person.
The Pew Research says that there are, for immigrants on the whole,
Come on, try getting it out. Try getting it out.
I'll get it out.
I mean, I don't know if you're going to put this on television, but you don't even know what you're talking about. Try getting it out. Go ahead. Okay.
It's fun when you,
This tense exchange highlights the contentious relationship between the soon-to-be president and the media.
Not you. Your organization's terrible. Let's go. Go ahead. Quiet. Go ahead. She's asking a question. Don't be rude. No, I'm not going to give you a question. I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir,
go ahead.
Can you state categorically that nobody...
Some controversial views come under scrutiny in this CNN interview.
You're not saying I defended. I didn't respond, okay? It's the first time in my life I've caused controversy, but not responding. I thought I was very good. I didn't respond, and I ended up causing controversy. He said, Muslims are a problem, okay? That's what he said. Okay, are they a problem? You tell me. And I say, I don't see the people, and I use it often, that knocked down the World Trade Center going back to Sweden, okay? So he said Muslims are a problem. That was part of what he said. Well.
Like a pig. I never saw a guy sweat like this. The sweat is pouring down. I think Rubio is a low energy, but here's the problem with Rubio. When you sweat that much, now think of it. So you have Putin, he's sitting over here. And he's waiting to kill the stupid Americans because he's been just destroying us so badly. So he figures, and a guy walks in and he's soaking wet and sweating. Hello, can I have some water? And Putin's sitting there, what the hell kind of stuff is this? This is not exactly a poker player, folks. So a couple of things have happened. Yeah, we ought to fire him. I'd fire his ass right now if I could. True.
He takes another jab at Rubio, this time at a Fox News debate.
Policy question for you,
yes,
sir.
Let's see if he answers it.
I will. Don't worry about it, Marco. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, little Marco. I will.
All right, well, let's hear Big Donald.
Don't worry about it, don't worry about it, little Marco.
Gentlemen, gentlemen.
You ought to show up.
Gentlemen, you got to do better than this.
This guy has the number one.
Mr. Trump, I'd like to ask you a policy question. Your proposed tax cut.
That's why the people.
A controversial moment of mocking a reporter's disability.
Talking about northern New Jersey draws the prober's eye. Written by a nice reporter. Now the poor guy, you got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. Oh, I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. Oh, maybe that's what I said. This is 14 years ago. They didn't do a retraction. 14 years ago, they did no retraction.
Melania addresses criticism towards her husband and adds a personal dimension to the immigration debate.
Many felt he had insulted Mexicans.
No, I don't feel he insulted the Mexicans. He said illegal immigrants. He didn't talk about everybody. He talked about illegal immigrants.
You're an immigrant.
Yes.
Do you ever think he's gone too far?
I follow the law.
Regrets are shared in an ABC interview.
To last June, is there anything you regret?
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to have done certain things over, but you can't. You can't. But that's true in life. I'd love to have done in life certain things over, I guess. And you would have too.
Give me one.
You would have loved not to have contributed to the Clinton Foundation, as an example.
Get ready for a bold claim. Donald is about to drop a bombshell on how he plans to fund the wall.
The former president of Mexico, Vicente Fox, he said today, and I'm quoting him, he said, "I'm not going to pay for that, quote, effing wall." So if you don't get an actual check from the Mexican government for $8 or $10 or $12 billion, whatever it will cost, how are you going to make them pay for the wall?
I will, and the wall just got 10 feet taller, believe me. It's got 10 feet taller. I saw him make the statement. I saw him use the word that he used. I can only tell you, if I would have used even half of that word, it would have been national scandal. This guy used a filthy, disgusting word on television, and he should be ashamed of himself, and he should apologize, okay? Number one. Number two, we have a trade deficit with Mexico of $58 billion a year, and that doesn't include all the drugs that are pouring across and destroying our country. We're going to make them pay for that wall. Now, the wall is $10 billion to $12 billion if I do it. If these guys do it, it'll end up costing $200 billion.
In this clip, our businessman doesn't hold back when addressing a persistent reporter.
That's up to the president. Let the president talk to him. Look, here's the problem. Here's the problem, Katie. Katie, here's the problem. Very simple. He has no respect.
You said I welcome them to find those 30,000.
Well, they probably have them. I'd like to have them released.
Does that not give you pause?
No, gives me no pause. If they have them, they have them. We might as well find. Hey, you know what gives me more pause? That a person in our government, crooked Hillary Clinton. Here's what gives me more. Be quiet. I know you want to, save her.
Watch as Trump delivers a zinger to Rand Paul during a heated GOP debate.
For a decade. So I think you're on the wrong side of this if you're still arguing for a single payer system.
I don't think you heard me. You're having a hard time tonight.
All right,
Mr. Trump, one of the things people love about you is you speak your mind and you don't use a politician's filter. However, that is not without its downsides, in particular when it comes to women. You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't.
Thank you.
For the record, it was well beyond Rosie O'Donnell.
Yes, I'm sure it was.
Your
Oh, this one's going to get me in trouble. Not with Hillary. You know, the president told me to stop whining. But I really have to say, the media is even more biased this year than ever before. Ever. You want the proof? Michelle Obama gives a speech and everyone loves it. It's fantastic. They think she's absolutely great. My wife, Melania, gives the exact same speech. And people get on her case. And I don't get it. I don't know why. And it wasn't her fault. Stand up, Melania. Come on. She took a lot of abuse. Oh, I'm in trouble when I go home tonight. She didn't know about that one. Am I okay? Is it okay? Cardinal, please speak to her.
The candidate takes a moment to call out the media, demanding they show the size of the crowd.
But the national press, it was amazing. It was an amazing event. Now, what I tell the press to do all the time, because they keep, I told you my wife to finish that, so I say, how was it? How was it? And they go, and she goes, were there many people? Now what they do is they put on your face and they refuse to do. So what I'm going to do is span out. Show them the crowd, press. Show them the crowd. Show them the crowd. Look, they're not turning the cameras. They don't even turn the cameras. They don't even turn the cameras because you know what? They're very dishonest people.
A young voter and Jeb Bush aide confronts Trump on his stance towards women's issues.
Than any of the folks that you're looking at right now. That I can tell you. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, I thought it was finished.
Is it on? Okay. I want to get paid the same as a man, and I think you understand that. So, if you become president, will a woman make the same as a man, and do I get to choose what I do with my body?
You're going to make the same if you do as good a job. You're going to make the same if you do as good a job.
The presidential candidate doesn't back down when faced with a reporter he views as biased.
The full soundbite from Tim Russert you said to him was, I'm very pro-choice. I hate the concept of abortion.
Correct. Why didn't you read that? By the way, why didn't you read that before?
I pulled it up to
No, but why didn't you read that before? You didn't read, I hate the concept of abortion. Excuse me.
Are you a trustworthy?
Excuse me, very trustworthy. More so than you.
Here is one of the most controversial proposals in recent history.
Okay, so remember this. So listen. Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on.
The tension between supporters and CNN is on full display as the crowd erupts in a chant denouncing the network.
They don't even want to show what's behind me. They keep that camera pinned to my face. They are so dishonest. You know, if crooked Hillary Clinton were up here and they had this kind of a crowd, the cameras would be showing the crowd all day long.
In a bizarre moment, Trump's plane provides an unexpected interruption to Ted Cruz's speech.
Our party now has a nominee. And I don't know. All right. That was pretty well orchestrated. But Jeff, did you email them to fly the plane right when I said that?
Trump and Rubio trade insults, with Rubio criticizing Trump's business practices and Trump attacking Rubio's record, highlighting their intense rivalry for the Republican nomination.
example, you're the only person on the stage that's ever been fined for hiring people to work on your projects illegally. You hired some workers from Poland.
I'm the only one on the stage that's hired people. You haven't hired anybody.
Well, in fact, some of the people
and by the way,
hold on.
I've hired tens of thousands of people over my job. You've hired
1,000 people
You've
from
had
another
nothing
company,
but problems
from another
with your
country.
credit cards, etc.
Let me
so
say,
don't tell me about that.
let me finish the statement.
Here we have a strong expression of sympathy for the victims while supporting decisive action against the unthinkable.
If some of those wonderful people had guns strapped right here, right to their waist or right to their ankle, and this son of a bitch comes out and starts shooting, and one of the people in that room happened to have it and goes boom, boom. You know what? That would have been a beautiful, beautiful sight, folks. That would have been a beautiful, beautiful sight.
Here we have Trump suggesting that Romney would have been subservient to other leaders, criticizing the 2012 Republican nominee in his typical confrontational style.
Because I am not a fan of Barack Obama, and that was a race that I backed Mitt Romney. I backed him. You can see how loyal he is. He was begging for my endorsement. I could have said, Mitt, drop to your knees. He would have dropped to his knees. He was begging. Sure. He was begging me. And did you see how great? He said, oh, I'm not big like him. He's the great businessman, all that stuff.
Last night you told CNN, quote, Islam hates us. Did you mean all 1.6 billion Muslims?
I mean a lot of them. I mean a lot of them.
A seasoned political comedian knows how to work the crowd.
It seems like this election has been a whole lot about a person who's very high in the polls, but doesn't have a clue about how to govern, a person who has been filled with scandals and who could not lead. And of course, I'm talking about Hillary Clinton. I think America is in trouble. But it's not beyond repair. But it's going to take leadership who sees the greatness of this country and who believes that once again we can be one nation under God.
Yes. Mr. Trump.
Yes.
Are you Batman?
I am Batman.
Tensions flare as the frontrunner trades barbs with a struggling opponent.
This is a tough business to run for president.
I know. You're a tough guy, Jeb.
And we need to have a leader that is principled. You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to the presidency.
Let's see. I'm at 42 and you're at 3. So
far
I'm doing better.
Doesn't matter.
So far I'm doing better. You know, you started off over here, Jeb. You're moving over further and further. Pretty soon you're going to be off the end.
This doesn't do a thing to solve the problem.
One at a time. If we are attacked, somebody attacks us. Wouldn't you rather have Trump as president if we're attacked? Oh, we'll beat the shit out of them. Anybody attacks us. You know, interestingly, speaking of potential, because he hates Obama so much, Putin, he said Donald Trump is a genius, and he's the real leader over in that country. And these people that I'm negotiating with all the time, these people on the stage with me, they said, you should disavow what Putin of Russia said. I said, I'm not disavowing that he called me a genius. Are you crazy? Don't worry, I can't be seduced. But wouldn't it be nice, if you think about it, wouldn't it be nice if we actually got along with Russia and others, and we can use them to knock out ISIS with us so that maybe we don't always have to pay for it, knock the hell out of them, but let them drop some of their bombs that cost $1 million apiece. Let them use some of their weapons that cost billions and billions of dollars. Let them beat the shit out of ISIS also, right? Right?
Heated exchange between two political heavyweights, setting the stage for an intense primary battle.
Mr. Trump, did he address that? Did you raise this because of his rising poll?
Let me just tell you something, and you know because you just saw the numbers yourself. NBC Wall Street Journal just came out with a poll. Headline, Trump way up, Cruz going down. I mean, so don't, so you can't, You can't. They don't like the Wall Street Journal. They don't like NBC. But I like the poll. And frankly, it just came out. And in Iowa now, as you know, Ted, in the last 3 polls, I'm beating you. So, you shouldn't misrepresent how well you're doing with the polls. You don't have to say that. In fact, I was all for you until you started doing that, because that's a misrepresentation. Number one. Number two, this isn't me saying it. I don't care. I think I'm going to win fair and square. I don't have to win this way. Thank you. Lawrence Tribe and numerous from Harvard, said that there is a serious question as to whether or not Ted can do this, okay? There are other attorneys that feel, and very, very fine constitutional attorneys, that feel that because he was not born on the land, he cannot run for office. Here's the problem. We're running. He does great. I win. I choose him as my vice presidential candidate, and the Democrats sue because we can't take him along for the ride. I don't like that, okay? The fact is, and if for some reason he beats the rest of the field, if for some, see, they don't like that. They don't like that. But, no, they don't like that he beats the rest of the field because they want me. But if for some reason, Neil, he beats the rest of the field, I already know the Democrats are going to be bringing a suit. You have a big lawsuit over your head while you're running, and if you become the nominee, who the hell knows if you can even serve in office? So you should go out, get a declaratory judgment, let the courts decide, and you shouldn't have mentioned the polls, because that would have been much different.
Why now? Why are you raising this issue now?
Because now he's doing a little bit better. No, I didn't care before. It's true. No, it's true. Hey, look, he never had a chance. Now he's doing better. He's got probably a 4 or 5% chance.
Thank you, Mr. Trump.
I love Mexican people.
Trump's unapologetic stance on immigration sparks controversy, but resonates with his base.
A few questions. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. You live in Southern California. What are you doing here? Are you a liberal Democrat by any chance? Who told you to be here, Bernie? This is this is a Bernie plant. This is a Bernie plant. All right, okay, I understand your question. And I understand. What, darling? Say it a little louder. We can't hear you. Okay. Oh, illegal backbone of our country? I don't think so, darling. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. They're not the backbone. You know what? I'll tell you what. That's okay. We don't need help with these folks. Let me just tell you something. You know what the backbone of our country? People that came here, and they came here legally. People that came to this country legally, and they worked their ass off, and they've made the country great. That's the backbone. All right. Okay, another question.
Donald clashes with Ted Cruz again in his usual fashion.
I got along with everybody. You get along with nobody. You don't have one Republican. You don't have one Republican senator, and you work with them every day of your life, although you skipped a lot of time. These are minor details. But you don't have one Republican senator backing you, not one. You don't have the endorsement of one Republican senator, and you work with these people.
Senator Cruz.
You should be ashamed of yourself. Here's a man, Robin Hood. This is Robin Hood over here. About loyalty, right? So they ask Rubio, what do you think of Bush? Oh, he's my dear friend. Wonderful, just one. They hate each other. They hate. Trust me, I know. They hate so much. They hate more than anybody in this room hates their neighbor. But it's political bullshit. Do you understand? It's true. It's true.
When the lights go out mid-speech, Trump turns it into a rallying cry, proving he's always ready to improvise.
We have 179,000 illegal immigrants who are criminals. These are people that were convicted. No, think of it. No, they're going. At as much as you want to put them in our jails, they were probably sent here so that we put them in our jails. Because to put them in our jails, they didn't pay the electric bill. To put them, oh, I like that much better. Oh. Oh, that's so much better. Those lights were brutal. They come from the dishonest press? Where? Oh, don't turn them on. Forget it. Better, right? Don't turn them on. Don't turn the lights on, plus we save on electricity, right? And because the lights didn't work, I won't pay the rent, so we get better lighting and we don't pay the rent, right? Right? No, get those lights off. Off. Turn them off. They're too bright. Turn them off. Turn them off. Let's go. Ready? Turn off the lights. Turn off the lights. Turn off the lights. Turn them off. So much nicer. No, that's the way we have to negotiate for our country. Think of it. That's the way we have to. That's the way my son negotiates. That's the way Jared negotiates. Come here, come here, come here. Come here. Eric, come here. Jared, come here. That's the way we have to negotiate for our country. The lights go off. Now listen. Come here. Ready? Now listen. There's just the thing. The lights go off. It's better. We say we want the lights on. It's terrible. It's terrible. We take a big deduction off the rent because the lights are, but it's actually better. It's the kind of sick thinking we really need for our country. Isn't that right? So because the lights didn't work, even though it's better, we say we're not paying the rent. The lights didn't work. This is ridiculous. We will not pay the rent. And we say bye-bye. Two great guys. They work hard. They love, boom, they love. Get those lights off. They're taunting us. They're taunting us. All right. I love you too. Look at that guy. I love you. Beautiful.
Watch Trump handle a heckler with his signature bravado, leaving the crowd cheering.
Food stamps. And I'll tell you what, if we had a real, hello. You know, it's amazing. I mentioned food stamps, and that guy who's seriously overweight went crazy. He went crazy. Amazing. Amazing.
Here is a no-nonsense approach to handling a protester disrupting a rally, showcasing an unfiltered style.
We're winning all over. Do I hear somebody over there? You know, you have one guy over there shouting. We have thousands of people, and you'll read about him tomorrow. They'll say, oh, the room had a picket. All right, yeah, get him the hell out of here, will you, please? Get him out of here. Throw him out. No, we had it the other day. I got criticized. We had it the other night. I had a lot of people, and one guy who was seriously obese. He complained when I mentioned that food stamps, we have a lot of people on food stamps. And the guy went crazy. And they said that wasn't politically correct. Who cares? We all have a weight problem. Yeah, you can get him out. Yeah, get him out. Get him the hell out of here.
The gloves come off again as Trump and Cruz trade barbs.
As a candidate, he supports federal taxpayer funding for Planned Parenthood. I disagree with him on that. That's a matter of principle, and I'll tell you.
You are the single biggest liar. You probably are worse than Jeb Bush. You are the single biggest liar.
All right.
This guy lied. Let me just tell you, this guy lied about Ben Carson when he took votes away from Ben Carson in Iowa, and he just continues. And today, we had robocalls saying Donald Trump is not going to run in South Carolina, where I'm leading by a lot. I'm not going to run. Vote for Ted Cruz. This is the same thing he did to Ben Carson. This guy will say anything. Nasty guy. Now I know why he doesn't have one endorsement from any of his colleagues.
All right, John, I get to respond.
Pick from the buffet there.
He's a nasty guy.
Well, I will say.
15 days out from the election, you've been labeled a racist, you've been called a sexist. How do you respond to that?
I am the least racist person you've ever met.
A combative relationship with the media on full display as he lashes out at a reporter.
But what I don't want is when I raise millions of dollars, have people say, like this sleazy guy right over here from ABC. He's a sleaze in my book. You're a sleaze because you know the facts, and you know the facts well. Go ahead. You might say something.
Bill Clinton's reaction to Trump's comments on his past draws attention, to say the least.
One of the women, who is a wonderful woman, at 12 years old, was raped at 12. Her client, she represented, got him off, and she's seen laughing on 2 separate occasions, laughing at the girl who was raped. Kathy Shelton, that young woman, is here with us tonight. So don't tell me about words. I apologize for those words. But it is things that people say. But what President Clinton did, he was impeached. He lost his license to practice law. He had to pay an $850,000 fine to one of the women, Paula Jones, who's also here tonight. And I will tell you that when Hillary brings up a point like that, and she talks about words that I said 11 years ago, I think it's disgraceful, and I think she should be ashamed of herself, if you want to know the truth.
Donald's confrontational approach to the media was on full display here, accusing CNN of deception with their focus group.
I'm telling you, they are so dishonest. Without the media, Hillary Clinton couldn't be elected dog catcher. I mean that. It's true.
Trump's brash rhetoric and willingness to double down was a hallmark of his candidacy.
These politicians don't have it. They're all talk, they're no action. I don't give a damn. If it doesn't work for me, I have this great company. I built this incredible company. I'll go back. I'll be hit in the face with a beautiful saltwater wave on one of my resorts. It's okay. It's okay. But you know what? I want to do this. A lot of people have said, why do you do this? Why? I do it because I want to make America great again. It's so much more important. No, it's true.
Trump riles up the crowd, promising endless victories.
We're going to win with health. We're going to win at so many levels. We're going to win. You're going to get so tired of winning. You're going to say, Mr. President, please, we don't want to win anymore. It's too much. And I'm going to say, I'm sorry. We're going to keep winning.
And there you have it, folks. Trump's 2016 campaign was truly one for the history books. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Thank you, and see you next time.